My name's Wade, Grateful AA member.
Hi, Wade.
And again, yeah, thanks for asking us to come down. I'm from Bellingham, and Bob's Mount Vernon. And anyways, I guess first off, getting to know Lara and her mom through South End meetings. I was living down there. I don't know. Let me gather my thoughts here. I'm from Seattle, and have a lot of ties to this area down here. And Bob and I do come down here for events and recovery, anything, and celebrate our birthdays down here. And he usually drives. Part of his second career was transportation driving, and the job he got fired from, they love him. And we see his co-workers in the Swinomish tribe once a month, and he's the first person. Circuit speaker Clancy, they'll go find Bob first. And it's been great to have Stig and Mary come up and have dinner for Saturday of the month. That's the no reservation speaker meeting, and we've been doing a pretty good job of getting together before that for dinner before that meeting. And I got ties to this area and people in recovery and Ostry from being a criminal. And so anyways, coming down here, every time we're on I-5 and we go past the KCJ, I always bring it to, it doesn't matter what music's on the radio or whatever, but I interrupt and, hey, I used to live there. Bob always says, I used to live at the old floor, at the old building. And I said, me too. Ninth floor there, though. And anyways, it is interesting. I hadn't thought about this, but after NTC, I go to NTC when I was 20, and I called my buddy Ronnie. That was Nick and Betty Demeron's son. And if I use any last name, it's in remembrance of. Anyway, partied with Ronnie, and that was my exposure to this deal. And Nick got me into NTC. Anyways, last time I was down here was at Al's birthday, and Brad was the one that wound up crying his eyes out. And anyways, life-changing stuff. And anyways, I go to NTC. And I was not clean when I went in there. I was high on mushrooms. And anyways, I knew that Ronnie had been sober for a couple of years, and he'd always come by my house, and I'd always offer, whatever was around, and he always declined. So I just figured that a treatment would work for him, and anyways, so I had gotten arrested when I was 18. This was my KCJ 9th floor deal, and I didn't know this, but today I guess it was about a year ago, with the 40th anniversary of the Wami massacre. I came to realize that my birthday now, 2/21/01, so it'll be 25 in February, but 2/21/84 is when I was in jail with Benjamin Nick, who was part of that incident. And I was there after a high-speed chase. stolen car. I had stole about 30 cars in King County, and this was a chase that had every law enforcement agency involved, and I was on and off I-5 3 times, and I'd never been busted for anything until that incident. Growing up, criminal stuff, and so no sooner I turned 18, bam, 4 felonies, and I see the Smith Tower. It can be pictures, it can be news. Just I'll get a glimpse of it, and I had a PO officer that I had to go see once a month for 5 years, and this guy had been a Chicago beat cop, and he was a hard ass, and we clashed. I was a punk kid, and I think it was I get sober, sometime in that first year after the court stuff, and seeing this guy, and the difference that my viewpoints and what was happening in these meetings was this completely different relationship for somebody that wasn't no longer doing that stuff, and I used to look forward to going to see this guy, and it was he stopped by the house one time, and I think he was just checking if I was doing what I was supposed to be doing, or a professional thing or something, and anyways, he cut me down to once every 3 months. That was bunk, and anyways, so I really like this guy, and so at 2 years sober, my roommate had, I'll try and, I just want to touch on some of the things I've had a chance to do since being sober. And part of it was being in the ski industry and pursuing skiing. And, from KCJ, I used to look out the window at the ski racks. And if they're turning left, they're going up to the pass. If they're going south, they're going down to 18 up to Crystal, which I've spent 2 years at Crystal full time, and 2 years at Alpental, 2 years at Hayek, and maybe I'll something there. But when I got sober, my roommate had skied for the Volvo Ski Show, and so the three of us, his wife, we both had gone to treatment at the same time. She went to Milam's and I went to NTC. And afterwards, we three of us would every week, we didn't miss a Thursday. We'd go to Eastside Beginners. And anyways, so during that period, I have a chance to go to Canada to photograph the Volvo Ski Show. And in that time, I'd also taken up school, and Bob mentioned Iron Mike. We both were in different photography programs at the same time, school, and anyway, so I had the chance to go up there to Canada, being a felon, and I go to my PO and say, can this happen? Can I do this? And he says, well, legally, no. I appreciate you bringing it up, and I won't say anything either way. If you make it, I hope you have a great experience, but I'm not going to report you or anything. And if you get caught, that's on you. And so I go, and so Whistler Blackcomb, and right up with them, and they have team and stuff, and we had a family friend that was up there outside of Vancouver, Lions Bay, and I was to use a vehicle that they had, a truck, to go from Lions and stay at their place while I was doing this, and I just thought about this passing Langendorf. And anyway, so I have this truck that I'm driving back towards Mountain Lion Bay, and I'm to bring this truck back to Seattle. And after that experience, I come back, report for duty with PO. I got this truck that I'm supposed to deliver to some guy that has some auto body shop down here in King County somewhere. And confusing thing was that it was a late model vehicle, clean, and apparently it was just going to be a color change, that he owed this guy money and was going to work it off, color changing the color of a truck that did not need to be painted. And so, we're up by Green Lake, and I got this truck, and after that weekend, I'm working at Langendorf. So, baking industry. So at NTC, I get this job at Langendorf and shipping. And so I got this truck, and nothing from this guy that I'm supposed to deliver to, drop the truck off with. And I got to go to work, so I drive the truck to work, and did this for 4 days trying to contact this guy. And then out of the blue, one night he calls, like probably coming back from Fremont meeting or something, and I get this profanity on the phone. Where's the fucking, whoa, I'm at my house, and it's out front. I'm looking at it right now, and I says, I do have to be at work at 4:30 in the morning at Langendorf, and I've been using it to get to work, and so I don't have to take the bus. And he says, well, perhaps I can pick it up at Langendorf. And anyways, that day I go out there and the truck was gone, so I did have to take the bus home. And a week later, at the Lions Bay house, their friend and her daughter, home invasion. And duct tapes and bullshittery, and yeah, it wound up being the largest cocaine bust in Canada. And so that'd be 86, 87. And that's the kind of shit that makes me grateful to be here. And, anyway, so let me get back on track here. How much time? 12 minutes. So anyways, that stuff was why I went to NTC, why I picked up the phone to call my buddy. And we had it's tough to come down here, not maybe the emotion is part of the can't afford to get into the morbid reflection that the book talks about. It's hard when you start thinking about all the people that ain't here no more. I get here at 20 via Nick and Betty get me into this treatment center, and was here for 14 years. And in that 14 years, I would like to think that the things I practice today are the same things I learned back then, and possibly even having done the third step, leaving Northwest Treatment Center, may be why I'm here. And I'd like to think it is. And so, I believe that I've had spiritual experiences in my life in a lot of different forms, and even communicating them and verbalizing them, they probably be lost in translation. But I can say that I think that there has been things that have gone on in my life that have been too lucky, too coincidental for not to be something greater than us that has control over what the fuck is going on. And some things do come to mind. Family stuff definitely, and one thing that in that 14 years of, when I started to get to know Lara and her mom, I was with somebody at South End that Leland, Shay, Celia, and I were all September '84. We all celebrated our birthdays for those 14 years. And they were really bummed when I did go out. And, I saw Leland a couple weeks ago at Fremont Old Timers Day, and it's always great. And, Leland and Shay and I did go up to the Space Needle to celebrate our 10-year birthday in between Fremont meetings, and a memorable experience for all of us, and we still talk about it many times. But anyway, so after 14 years, I had a head and neck injury, crushed my neck, brain bleed, Virginia Mason for 11 weeks, and ultimately led to a relapse. And so, a lot of opiates that, all said alcohol may intensify this effect, part of my story. And it led to a full-blown relapse. And in the middle of that relapse, I moved from downtown Seattle here to Acme, which is a real small town on Highway 9. There's cows on one side, there's cows on the other side, and there's more cows, and it's bumfuck, man. Shit there was my shop, the post office, the Acme Cafe, the Acme Presbyterian Church, and the Acme General Store. That's it. And anyways, lots of cows. And so culture shock. And is this how much is remaining?
Yes.
So I'm wasted one night, and I had gone through, I was supposed to sheetrock my kitchen and redo my kitchen, and I did it all one night and on a substance, and devastated, and rolled pennies to go down to the Acme General Store at 6:05 a.m. When they open, to get a case of Schmidt beer. And so I pay for my Schmidt beer with these rolls of pennies to my neighbor, who's the store clerk. And this is humiliating shit. And anyways, I got a hand on the beer and a hand on the door, and Jim, my neighbor's store clerk, says, "Easy does it." And so this was like I want to say it's a moment of clarity, but even wasted as I was, and having an ounce and 8 ball of cocaine and being just out of it, the light bulb came on. And having been here for 14 years previously, easy does it mean something. And so instinctively, I just turned around and asked him. I said, "Are you a friend of Bill W.'s?" I don't know why I asked him, but and the response was, "Well, yes, I am, Wade. 27 years. You ever been? We're starting a meeting at the Acme Presbyterian Church next Friday. Why don't you come on over?" This is across the street from my house in Bumfuck, right? So to this day, I would like to think that this was a spiritual experience. So anyway, it was like you guys found me out there. And I was there for 18 years, and I have a 24-year-old daughter who's never seen me pick up. That's where she was born. And yesterday I was with my grandson, who's will be 2 in March, and we were at my daughter's work yesterday to watch the Mariners. And the last time the Mariners were in this situation, I tell you, I've been arrested at the Kingdome. I caught a Pele soccer ball in the Kingdome. I could go on and on about King County, Seattle history, but what a pleasure to have my kid at high school basketball games, which I've been to these high school basketball games probably 8 times now with Bob. And last year was against some East Side. Who cares? But Rainier Beach is who we're rooting for. And anyways, his grandkids were at this place down in Tacoma, and his son wants to take us to this place, Tacoma, and his 2 kids, and I'm looking, and there's this pan of peach cobbler, and there's 1 piece left, in the corner, and there's some call-in orders that are going out the door, and this whole time we're eating, I'm looking at that peach cobbler, I didn't get it. So I get the last piece of peach cobbler, and I'm eating it, and one of the kids says, "Can I have a bite?" So we're passing this peach cobbler back and forth there, and anyways, it's I keep coming up with things we talked about in the 11 step in reading about how our consciousness will be put on a much higher plane. Moment of clarity, things like that's why I got loaded. Looking for some extra stuff. I might say that isn't why, but I mean, a lot of reasons. But how many times have I mixed stuff to try and get to another place? And I can say that being clean and sober, I've had experiences that are crystal clear, perfectly clear. I experienced them, and without anything clouded, and it might be a game, it might be the Olympics, 2010 up in Vancouver. I was at the fence when Bodie Miller won gold, and I did bring up skiing, which is something that I did have a chance to do, and I think of this event, and I participated in speed skiing, and it's an event with no turning, just seeing how fast you can go. Like the Bonneville Salt Flats, drag racing, something. So physically it wasn't, but it's almost like that scene in The World's Best Indian when he falls and he burns his leg and he thinks to himself, it's portrayed in the film as, I did it, and I know what it feels like. And, I think about going to Mount Hood and doing that. And if you ever stick your hand out the window in a car and you can feel that, I know what it feels like on my body when I stand up at the end of the run. And even the preparation and everything that goes into a 5-second run, there's a moment of clarity and higher than any high. And, it's that's one of the forms. Cutting an umbilical cord, perfectly clear, present for that experience. And, yesterday, my daughter works at a golf course up in Bellingham, and it's a bar. It's a little room, but I don't know what I had. Something with my grandson on my lap. He was on my lap with that grand slam, and immediately high fives. So for 1.5-year-old to start going around all these golfers, and I don't golf, but seeing him high five and the excitement, and it's I think I screwed it up again, Bob. We on the way down here, what are you going to talk about? Oh, I don't know. And I guess what I can say is that I feel very lucky, fortunate to have made it back, and grateful to all of you. And 49 years, if this is John's birthday month, happy birthday, John. Coordinator, if you'd asked me, and it was his, I think it was pretty slick of you, because if you'd asked him to speak this month, then now he'll have to come back. He'll have to keep coming back, and next year he'll come again. So anyways,
Yeah.
Thank you.